Hi, I'm Kate Decker, founder of the Institute of Athletic Movement. Thank you for joining me today regarding organizing a hectic schedule, a six-step process. So, if you're anything like myself or my clients, athletes, schedules can be absolutely crazy. At one point, I was a business owner working for the Philadelphia Eagles and for Temple University, contracted with both and doing outreach. And right now, my schedule is just as crazy, contracted with Covenant College, business owner, speaker on Coaches Advisory Council for USA Football, author for Stroll Black Creek Magazine. So I get it. So, what are some things that you can do to help your schedule? Because my focus is always helping people realize life balance and mind, body, spirit connection is so important because you are important. So, these steps should hopefully start to organize your life. And if you have not done so yet, please go ahead and check out the worksheet that is a download, a free download that should be below. You can also check it out on our website, instituteofathleticmovement.com. And under schedules and events, you'll find the form there. So, we are going to be talking about the six basic steps: setting your base appointments. Step two is going into categories. Three, making your list. Step four, estimating your time. Number in order of importance is step five. And then placing these items on your schedule is step six. Setting your base appointments, and I have to say this was one of the most fun things that I have done, and this was an outreach program for international college students in Myrtle Beach through All Nations Cafe and Seacoast Vineyard Church. It was so much fun, and I would not have been able to do that years ago, but with a more organized schedule, it made things feasible. So, step one is setting base appointments. So, you want to go to your calendar first and write in all that you know that you have to accomplish this week that are your set schedule. That is your set schedule. So, whether that's work or school, if you have specific outreach, events, meetings, you want to go ahead and put those down. You also want to include a little bit of time to organize your weekly schedule in these six steps. A little bit of time in the front end of the week or the end of the previous week to schedule for the upcoming week can hopefully make your life a little bit easier, maybe even reduce a little bit of heart palpitations or stress. I know that it has helped with my focus, and hope it will help with yours. So, step two is categories. I've started you off with some basics that I use with myself and others. Work and school is one, then faith, family, self care, outreach, and community. And no, they are not in a particular order. All of them are vitally important in our lives. Step three, under each category, you're going to place your items of whatever it is under that category. And I have a couple ideas here for you. So, family, you already have your base schedule down, but family, you also want to fit in a game night this week. Under self care and fun, we're choosing meditation on this particular one. Faith, we have daily devotionals and Bible study. And then under work and school, we have a special project. And I will get into that in just a minute. I don't have the outreach and community listed, but that does not mean that it is not just as vitally important to living a balanced life. We all know that when we give back, it can do just as many wonders to the person that we're helping or the organization that we're helping, and help to also be very spiritually lifting to ourselves as well. So, step four, you're going to estimate your time for each of these. That includes your drive time. So, if you know that it normally takes you 20 to 30 minutes to go to an event or your work or school, then estimated on the long end. So this gives you a little bit of padding. If you arrive early, then you have time to breathe. You might sing in the car. You might grab a coffee. You might be able to call a friend, or you might be able to sit and go over and review whatever it is that you need to in better preparation for your appointment. Now, I mentioned the project. So we have a special project, whether it is school related or work related. And let's pretend that today, no matter when you're watching this, let's pretend that today is Monday and the project is due this Friday. So we know that our estimated time for that project is going to be 10 hours. So if you were like me years ago, you could procrastinate and do it all Thursday night into Friday. And I have been there, and sometimes I still am. Not perfect at this, but continuing to improve and share because it does make a big difference. So, trying to give yourself a little bit more breathing room. Let's look at that project time and say, okay, I actually, on my schedule this week, have enough time each day for 2 hours to focus in on that project. Gosh, can you imagine having that organization and what that might feel like so that you are not rushed and that you are not under the gun going, oh my gosh, am I going to get it done in time? Do I have any breathing room? Am I going to have to have very little sleep in order to get this done? So that is there for a reason. That pad time, that scheduling in advance can hopefully help you in the long run. Again, be able to breathe, be able to schedule things that you would really like to do in addition to work or to school or to other events that you have to get done every week. If you don't have those 2 hours every day, then go ahead and do it for 3 days and 3.5 hours each day. And that will give you 10 to 10.5 hours on for that entire project. And then maybe on Friday, you actually have time to review it and say, oh my gosh, I wasn't thinking about this on Monday, but wow, this would be an amazing addition to the project that I can add in. So not only do you have breathing room and time scheduled appropriately, creating these great habits, but then maybe, just maybe, the project might be able to excel even further and make a broader impact. And I have a few others in there: errands, schoolwork, sports, time with family, whatever it is. Go ahead and estimate your time. Give yourself some pad room. A little bit of extra a couple minutes here and there make a big difference. Step 5, we're going to number them in order of importance. So here I have faith. I already plugged in my time, which was step 4. For daily devotionals, I know it will take me about 15 minutes daily. And then Bible studies 3 times per week. And let's say, don't have that time listed, but let's say that's an hour each time. So for me personally, I know that those daily devotionals make a big difference in my life. They help to set the stage of my mindset for the day or the week and how I interact with people or how I view whatever life throws me, because we all know that life does that. It throws you curveballs. And so I'm placing daily devotionals as my number one, and then the Bible study is number two. And the work school, we already have that on the baseline, but we know that we have 10 additional hours for that special project this week. So we're going to add that in as well. Either way, those 2 hours every day for 5 days, or 3.5 hours per day to get that done in plenty of time. Self-care, you see I have my workouts ahead of meditation, so everything is pretty evened out. So once you take some time on this, take some time on figuring out your time on step 4, and then order of importance in step 5, because step 6, you're going to schedule everything. So you're going to place your items on your schedule. And if you have a crazy super packed week, maybe you're just have time to put the number ones of additional items or subjects that you'd like to get done. And if it's not as crazy of a schedule, maybe have your number ones and number twos down there. You can also look ahead further in and say, gosh, for the month, this is something that I would like to do. And I know each week I need to progress it. I can get into that at a later date, but right now we're going to focus just on this baseline. Use a pencil. As we mentioned, we never know what life is going to throw at us. So if we are more fluid and we understand, gosh, I have great organization now, I have my 6 steps done, but then something happens. Whether it's good or bad, it's something that you really want to do. Maybe it's a friend of mine just came in town. I have not seen them in such a long time. I wish I had time to see them. Use a pencil. Be able to adapt and enjoy your life. God has given us a beautiful time here on earth. So using it to the most benefit and giving back, but also really pouring into ourselves and our own health. So go see your friend, rearrange the schedule if necessary, but try to plug in some of those times where you can change things and be able to adapt. And then schedule extra time. Make sure to pad your schedule. Again, a couple extra minutes here and there means maybe I'm not racing like crazy to get to an appointment only to be stressed out when I get there because I didn't allow enough time. So, being a coach, I have to ask you, what steps will you take? Balance in your life is so important, and so are you and your health. And I'll give you an example of this. While I was working with the 2 different teams and running my business, my niece came up to visit, and it was a big deal. I had barely seen her, and I loved her. I love her very much. I love all my nieces and nephews very much. And it was during football season, and my schedule was just absolutely crazy. I didn't have as much balance in my life at that time. And she looked at me with her beautiful eyes and said, "Aunt Katie, why is your why do you work so hard?" And if it were under other circumstances, I probably would have had a very quick, beautiful, quick answer to give her. And instead, I looked at her eyes and realized this was Thanksgiving, and I barely had time to spend with her. I didn't have a good answer to explain why all of these crazy appointments were more important than her, because they weren't. But I had such a rigid schedule at that time that I wasn't living a life in balance. And my stress was through the roof. And I was taking care of everyone else. And I loved doing that. But I had forgotten to take care of myself. So I hope that you will learn from my many mistakes and start to take steps. And this is a great way to begin. These basic 6 steps hopefully can help you so much. So we went over 6 different steps. Step one is setting your appointments, and remember to include time to organize your week during those appointments. Step two is create your categories, and you can use mine or you can use your own, or a combination of the two. But that in itself is looking beyond whatever the main aspect of our life is and adding to it, making your list, estimating your time, number in order of importance, and then place on your schedule. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll follow me on Instagram or my business Facebook page, LinkedIn. Just look up Kate Decker at Institute of Athletic Movement. That one didn't show up as well. I pray that you have a balanced, beautiful life filled with faith and happiness and health. Thank you again, and God bless you.